The Professor's Funhouse. From its humble cable access beginnings in 1981 to its public television and network debuts, this is the show that would become one of the most beloved children's programs of our time. Combining education, comedy, and stories with morals, this was the half hour which would lay the groundwork for the Saturday mornings of the next 20 years. It all started in a little 600-watt cable station in Fresno, California, with 8 friends and an idea.
Well, we'd all seen kid shows with puppets, like The Friendly Giant and Sesame Street, you know. And, they were great shows, but they were just missing something, right? I'm a huge fan of The Friendly Giant myself. I used to do impressions of Rusty the Rooster as part of my stand-up act. But those shows just didn't quite have it.
People, yeah? Humans. Everyone loves humans, yeah? Obviously our show was a show for humans, but all the other shows had humans on them. Well, kids see humans every day. How is that special? We wanted to make our show really special.
Even the Muppet Show, the holy grail of puppet shows, relied on their celebrity guests.
So we figured, well, why not? Why not do a show with an ensemble cast made entirely of puppets?
Well, work had been slow for all of us, so everyone was in. Ferdy started talking to the station manager, who wasn't sure if the idea would fly, but to his credit, gave us the chance to prove ourselves.
It was all marketing. Obviously we wanted to make a wonderful children's show, but we had to get it out there, and it had to be marketable. So, against some protest from the cast, we used archetypal characters.
I hopped around, I came out of the hat, I delivered the eggs on the Easter specials, I ate carrots. Let me tell you, I can't stand carrots.
I'm an elephant, and we're known for our excellent memories. So it was decided that I would be Professor Pachyderm, and the name of the show just happened. It really gave us direction.
On January 15th, 1981, The Professor's Funhouse premiered on CFUV Channel 87 in California. Within the year, it had been picked up by the local public station CFUR Channel 9.
We could hardly believe it. Us on public TV.
We were ecstatic. It was indescribable.
The world fell in love with the Funhouse, and its success increased. A line of children's books and a home video series followed. Things were going well for the puppets.
The show became so popular in North America, there was a great demand for a Canadian version, just as Sesame Street had done. Being from Canada myself, I thought the idea was great, so I really pushed for it.
And so The Professor's Funhouse Canada was born, featuring skits and scenes from the American series with additional segments featuring new friend Chuck the Beaver.
The world is a wide and wonderful place, and that's why we've come here today to Sudbury, Ontario, and the world's largest nickel mine.
Well, the audition process was real hard, huh? But in the end, I was just so proud to be made a part of this family. Really, it totally launched my career, huh? I'll always look back fondly on my time in the Funhouse.
The Funhouse stayed with public television for 9 years until it was picked up by ABC in 1991. They'd finally made the big time.
Network TV.
This was unprecedented. A cable access show hosted by puppets actually getting a Saturday morning slot on a major network. Can you imagine doing something with your friends that becomes your entire career?
We were getting the star treatment. We were so fortunate. We had sponsorship deals, our own line of toys. Ferdy even got an honorary doctorate from his hometown at the University of Northern British Columbia.
By now, the Funhouse and its cast of characters had more than just their foot in the door. They were part of American culture. Kids had grown up watching them, and a new generation was enjoying their classic brand of fun. But as always, fame slowly began to take its toll.
Evelyn, at Nutty the Squirrel, had been smoking for years against the better advice of doctors and her friends. But After we got picked up by the network, the stress of the schedule started getting to her, and her smoking got worse and worse until finally she was diagnosed with throat cancer.
But Evelyn's condition was not the only problem the show would endure on their first 2 years on ABC.
I guess I felt the show was getting tired. We were just covering the same stuff over and over again. I mean, how many times can you talk about the colors of the rainbow and keep it interesting? We'd already done it, so I felt it was time for me to move on.
Obviously, none of us wanted to see him go, but we wished him well with whatever endeavor he put his mind to.
As the Funhouse carried on without him, Ernest's variety show, which included a trick in which he pulled a magician from a hat, enjoyed a successful off-Broadway run and was later adapted into a movie that ranked in the top 10 films of 1998. But the biggest blow to the inhabitants of the Funhouse would happen in 1994, when Stanley, the Funhouse's Carl Koala, was tragically killed in an auto collision on March 30th of that year.
Nobody could have seen it coming.
We were in shock. Production just shut down.
I was in New York at the time working on my show. When I flipped on the news that night, there was Stanley. Cover story. I just dropped the remote and cried.
Ernie shut down his show for a week and flew in for the funeral.
There must have been 5,000 people there.
We got so many letters of condolence, we shut ourselves up for 3 days and read every one of those letters. Only then did we realize how many people we've touched over the years. There were letters from parents who'd watched the show with their children, teenagers who had grown up with us, even 3- and 4-year-olds writing in crayon that they'd hope he got better. I'm sorry.
With 3 fewer cast members than when they'd joined the network lineup, the show limped on for one last season. And finally, with a 1-hour special bringing all surviving members together for the last time, the Funhouse closed its doors forever. But the memories of this wonderful show will live on in the hearts and minds of children and adults alike.
Children, are you familiar at home with the concepts of limits? Because I'm just about at mine.
Ooh.